Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Matthew Montanez once again here with the Home Pro Shop Bottle Cutter Club. And I got me a brand spanking new bottle cutter and I'm super excited to use this one, test it out. My other one I felt like it was getting a little worn, so I got me a brand spanking new one. And I already oiled my glass cutter wheel right there. Before we get started, of course, safety first. Let's get our gloves on. And I hope you guys had a great week this week. Yeah, let's get started here. Today, it's going to be a cool little video, and it's actually going to be a storage container. We're going to cut this bottle, which I really liked this bottle. This was actually just water in here, which is cool. I ordered a water when I ordered some takeout, and this was the water. And I like the bottle, and I was like, well, time for another video. So I have these storage containers already, right? Like there's this one, and it's cool, it's nice. And then I also have one of these storage containers at my house, and it's like this, and they have lids. So for this one, I was like, well, why don't I make my own storage container? Because that one, I think it has like sugar, and then this one has bubble gum in it, candies. So I was like, let's make another one, probably put some beans or rice or something in here. It could even be like knickknacks, little small trinkets, like crayons or toys or something for well, maybe not crayons. I don't want the kids sticking their hand in there, but it can be kind of anything. So I was like, let's cut this bottle, get it about this big, enough to actually, maybe even noodles, dry noodles, put some dry noodles in there, and then, find something with the lid. So I was thinking to use something like a ball, something like this. And I grabbed this ball for now just because it's bright enough so we can see how much to actually cut so I can mark it. But I'm gonna get something fancier, maybe one of them styrofoam balls, and paint it and just to sit on top to keep it secure. This bottle actually didn't really have a label. It had like one right here. I was able to just peel it off right there with my hands. I didn't need to soak it or anything. And then there's one in the back, which I'm not even going to worry about. So let's get started to measure this bad boy. And as we're measuring and setting up, as always, like I like to mention to all of you, is make sure you have your hot water boiling on your stovetop, and you also got your cold water in the freezer. And this bottle, I actually measured it before I started the video, so it's not going to fit in any containers I have where I need the cut at. So I'm going to do the technique I did from the last video where I poured the water onto the score. I'm hoping I have enough water because yeah, the hot water, I hope I have enough hot water, but I definitely have enough cold water to pour on top. So we'll see what happens from there. And we're going to, it's a little loose for now, and just push it forward and see where we want to cut. And I want to go right above that label there. There's kind of like a good label on there. And as you can see, this one's a little different. It's actually going to tilt forward. So you gotta make sure you're very steady and keep it close to the base so it doesn't ruin, because if it's close to the base, you can still at least twist it and it'll give you a nice even score around. And let's see, we're gonna go about right there. Looks great for me. That looks beautiful. And let's tighten this as much as we can and make sure that it does not move, because this is going to be a tricky bottle. And that was another thing, right? I was like, oh man, this bottle's a little different, so this one should be fun. Let's try it out. Okay, so that's locked into place, and then we got it down and it's touching the wheel, so we're good there. And as always, like I like to tell, I'll always just like to mention is whatever hand's closest to the base, that's the hand keeping it close to the base and steady, and it's just guiding it. The right hand, you're going to grab it by the bottleneck and you're going to turn it towards you one whole revolution. And that's just so it'll give you a nice even score. And just make sure when you're doing this, you're just giving even pressure all the way around. When you put a little too much pressure in different spots, that's when you're gonna get weird cracks, weird chips, and you're gonna be like, oh no, I'm like, my bottle cutting ratio is pretty awful here. I only could do like 1 out of 10 bottles. So just make sure it's even pressure. And here we go. And I'm not even putting a lot of pressure on this. It's very nice and gentle, and it's cutting the bottle very sweet. And we made it all the way around. And let's see if you can see that in the camera. There's a nice even score going all the way around that bottle. So I'm gonna go grab my water and I'll be right back. I'm gonna see what we can do here. All right, everyone, so I forgot I have to come over here because I have to pour the water. So I'm hoping this is gonna work out. So let me grab my water right here. Here's our nice boiling water. And here's the ice cold water. So let's get this started. As you guys know, I like to always start with the cold water first. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to try to pour this over the score slowly and make sure it gets in all the score. Nice and slow. And I'm holding the bottom of the bottle because that's actually the part I want to use. The bottleneck and top, I really don't care if it chips or anything, so I'm gonna let it fall into the sink. I'm hoping it don't chip because maybe I can use it as a candle holder. All on there. Okay, nice. Now let's switch to the hot water and pour a little bit. And be careful because this part, it can actually burn, so kind of tilt it downwards. And as always, all the water should do the work. You shouldn't have to pull the glass apart. Now let's move back to the cold water. You might have to do it a couple times, so if it doesn't fall apart the first time, just do it again. And there you go. And it chipped off nice, or it came off nice and cleanly, as you can see. And let's finish this project. All right, I'm back. So this came out looking great. Look at that. So I'm gonna dry it up real quick, and we're gonna sand down the edge up there. Let's dry this side too, because like I said, I can probably use this as a candle holder. I'm gonna dry this up. Let me move the bottle cutter. Thank you, Home Pro Shop. You guys rock. And you guys know my technique. But first, like I said before, like something like this, you probably don't want to scratch the glass because you want to keep it looking as clean as possible. So I'm gonna go wet my sandpaper a little bit. You guys know me. I like to put the glass down and just rotate it like this. And I like to go clockwise. You can go clockwise, then counterclockwise, any way you want. But I just like to go clockwise. It's easier for me. And I'm gonna pick up my sandpaper, and I'm just gonna go a little bit more on the edge, just like that. Down a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit on the inside as well because I don't want my hand to get cut at all on this one. Make sure it's smooth everywhere, and make sure your gloves are on, safety first. Nice and smooth, this feels great. Okay, let me dry the inside now because a little bit of water got in there and went inside the spores. I'm gonna put this towel in there, just stuff it in there and just kind of dry it. It's a nice Mickey Mouse towel. I love Mickey Mouse. When I was small, I used to call him Mickey the Mouse. His name is Mickey Mouse. And I guess I started calling him Mickey the Mouse because Pete, you know, from a Goofy's movie, he calls him the mouse. This is what I was saying. You're gonna put a ball like that, or a cork, or a styrofoam ball. And that's, like I said, I want this one so you can actually see how it goes inside and above. And see, I could probably even get one a little smaller and I can paint it, make it look nice and neat, or get one of them tan ones and it looks so cool. And I decided, why not fill this one up with rice? So instead of me having this bag of rice always somewhere, and it's always just having to remember to roll it, it can spill somewhere. Now I have a beautiful storage container for my rice. Check that out. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I'm gonna actually make me a couple more of these. I just need to get a better looking ball up here because that one is kind of ugly, right? That very, very bright yellow. So all right, you crafters out there, as always, I'm super happy you tuned into this video and checked out this awesome storage container. I just wish I had a better bottle at this time now because I wanted to, like, you know, get a nice picture there. But I'm glad you tuned in. If you have any questions, comments, or even if you're like, Matt, there's a better way you can do it. This is what you should use as a lid, or something like that, or this kind of bottle, maybe a wider one or something. Let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to read them, comment back, and interact with you guys some more. And do that in the Facebook group, the YouTube channel, anywhere. I will see them. And also, don't forget, if you want to purchase one of these beautiful Home Pro Shop bottle cutters, the link's in the description below. As always, you crafters out there, don't forget to join the Facebook group, even if it's just to say hi. Until next time.